Hello, creators. Registration for our next Wellness Center Creators Retreat opens September 1st, 2025. And we'd love to have you join us in person in Vancouver, Washington, September 22nd through 25th in 2026.
We've only got 20 spaces per track, so be sure to check out the options and see which one fits you and any leadership team members you may want to bring along.
If you register before the end of the year, you'll get the early bird rate plus some new VIP perks.
All the details are at wellnesscentercreators.com/retreats, and we can't wait to see you there.
Today's episode is sponsored by Jane, a clinic management software and EMR. Waiting on hold isn't anyone's idea of time well spent, especially when you're busy providing exceptional care to your patients and clients and running your clinic. The Jane team knows how valuable your time is. That's why they work hard to keep call wait times to an average of 2 minutes. This means you can get quick answers to your clinic questions and head into your weekend with one less task on your to-do list. Plus, unlimited phone, email, and live chat support from their team of friendly humans is included in every Jane subscription. So, no matter where you're at on your Jane journey, they're always there to lend a hand. To see how Jane can help you take back your personal time, head to jane.app to book a one-on-one demo, or use the code wellness1mo at sign-up for a 1-month grace period applied to your new account. Hi there, and welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. I'm Kendall Hagenson.
And I'm Anna Rudell. We're thrilled to have you join us on this journey of creating innovative, patient-centered wellness centers.
As experienced health and wellness providers, we've seen firsthand the challenges of delivering comprehensive, holistic care to our patients.
That's why we created this podcast, to share the knowledge, strategies, and insights we've gained from our own experiences and from connecting with experts in the field.
Each episode, we'll dive into a different aspect of building and growing a successful wellness center, from developing a strong multidisciplinary team to implementing cutting-edge technologies and treatment approaches.
We'll also share practical tips, resources, and real-world examples to help you overcome common obstacles and streamline your processes.
Our goal is to empower you with the tools and confidence you need to create a thriving wellness center that truly makes a difference in your patients' lives.
So whether you're just starting out or looking to take your existing practice to the next level, you're in the right place.
Get ready to learn, grow, and be inspired. Let's create something amazing together.
Welcome to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Wellness Center Creators Podcast. Today on the show, Ann and I are going to get into the details of adding a new service to your offerings or a entirely new modality. We've talked about this before a bit on the podcast, but we've been getting some more specific questions about it, and we wanted to kind of dive in deeper. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Kendall. Lovely to be here.
Lovely to see you. This is a fun one because it's about expansion. It's about adding something new and new ways to serve our clients and new ways to bring in revenue. So I think it excites both of us. And you recently expanded to add massage services at your company, your acupuncture company.
I did.
And here at Vancouver Wellness Studio, we're adding stuff all the time. We're a multidisciplinary team, and I have a bazillion stories about, failures of adding services and some awesome wins around adding services and modalities as well. So let's dive.
Kendall.
Yes.
Yeah, now you've said you've got a million stories. What's the one that stands out to you the most?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Of the failure.
Yeah. Let's start with failures and then we can end on a high note.
What I will say first is the reason that it fails is and has failed in the past is because of a few reasons. We don't give enough time to lead it, basically adding something before we're ready, which is, in my personality and the way that I approach business too. It's like, I will often encourage people, just do it before you're ready. I mean, you're never really going to be ready, but there are ways to be more ready to add a service.
What happened, Kendall?
There's so many stories. So there's one, as many of our listeners know, we have a second location that is a spa location now, and we have an entire aesthetics program there. But we've tried to add aesthetics in the past at our company when we had the one location. So there's actually a long history of aesthetics, which is so funny to me because it's never been really part of the core of my own, passions. But the more that I learn about it, there's really so much benefit to having it as part of your business.
Can you define aesthetics?
Yeah.
What does that mean in terms of the offerings?
The way that we do aesthetics now is, and I've always, is a holistic approach to skincare. Mm-hmm. So it's using natural products, clean beauty products for facials, and caring for the skin. So that's essentially where the foundation of it. When we first opened VWS, we actually had an esthetician here who rented a room. And she was on our team for a year, and then she went and opened a brick and mortar of her own aesthetics business. Fast forward to today, because I like to start with the wins. The same esthetician, is back on our team as an employee, and she is phenomenal. She's amazing, and she's taking our aesthetics team to new heights. In the middle of those 10 years, we added aesthetics right before COVID. So, I mean, obviously that's an extenuating circumstance, but if we even take COVID out of it, the reason why I added it was to support a team member who was in a different role and had gone to aesthetic school. Mm-hmm. And we loved this team member and we wanted her to be able to stay on the team, and we built a role for her, which I'm known to do.
Absolutely. Strike while the iron is hot.
Yes. Sounds great, right? Well, our company, we weren't set up for aesthetics. I am not an esthetician. I am a therapist. And the layers of research and planning that go into adding something like aesthetics are vast. So if you've never had it before, and then this, team member was a brand new esthetician, that is the wrong choice in this situation. It's the wrong choice because, and I will tell any client present day, right? If you're adding a new modality, complete new modality to your team that you've never had before, you should hire someone who is very experienced in that modality. If you are not.
Yes.
And I usually followed that rule, but then, right, we're helpers and we're healers and we want people to succeed. And how amazing to create an environment for another female to live her dream. Right. So of course we jump in too soon. We don't get the right product lines. We're not charging the right amount because I have no idea what to do with this. Right.
No.
Right. So, and then of course, COVID hit. And when I say right before COVID, I mean, we were starting to roll out the steps in January of 2020. Mm-hmm. We finally get ready to offer it. And we're now estheticians in our state are not allowed to practice. It was absurd. So obviously it didn't work out. But if we take COVID out of it, it still wouldn't have worked.
Why? Because
I personally, as the leader, wasn't prepared to offer this service in my company. Mm-hmm. I didn't know enough about it. I didn't, and I can learn the benefits over time, sure. But when you're going to roll something out like that, you have to be ready to get the entire team behind you towards one common goal, which is filling up this esthetician.
Yeah.
And if you as the leader don't know enough about it and you can't even speak to it and sell it, how can you expect your team to do that?
Yes. Yes.
So that's one of the fails. But on the flip side, the way that we do aesthetics now, so 3 years ago when we opened our second location, we reintroduced holistic aesthetics. We hired very experienced estheticians and learned from them and with them. We did our own research. We looked at multiple skincare lines and brands. Going into something like aesthetics is you're dipping now into a different industry.
Mm-hmm.
I will argue all day that holistic aesthetics is healthcare. It's part of healthcare. The way that we do it, it is. However, aesthetics is the spa industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a different industry from alternative healthcare. So once you dip your toe over there, then you are bombarded with, our culture in the US is all about med spas.
Mm-hmm.
We are the opposite of a med spa, but you're bombarded from, sometimes from estheticians. Not our current esthetician is like as holistic as they come, but previous estheticians we've had, right? Part of their growth in their career is they might want to work in dermatology or they might want to work at a true med spa. And they eventually want to be doing more procedural things with machines or lasers or, injections. Like that's where they're going on their trajectory. So it's all about right fit hiring for any service you're adding, keeping in alignment with your brand. But you have to then block out the noise of all, I get so many emails every day from local reps of other brands and local, skincare lines and machines and all these things. And it's really tuning that out. And then if the provider's on your team and they want to go a certain direction and it's not within your brand, then you have to make that decision, to not move forward. But that's one example.
You've also talked about how expensive it is when you start with aesthetics.
Aesthetics is an expensive venture. And I think it's just different. Like if your business is a spa, then relatively speaking, if you're doing holistic aesthetics and natural skincare, the cost is nothing compared to a med spa. So overhead for a med spa with fillers, injections, it's a really large cost of overhead up front. And then they charge, more for those procedures. It's all relative. Honestly, the profit margins in med spas are, the perceived to be so high. It's not true. The overhead on those machines, if you look at like a hydrofacial machine or any of those that like kind of do all the steps of the facial for you, like within the machine, those machines are hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, you're investing in that, you're investing in the fillers, you're doing all the things, then you're charging a lot more. And at the end of the day, the profit margin's relative. If you're doing holistic aesthetics, you're looking at buying into, one or two skincare lines as an initial overhead. The thing about skincare lines is that they often have a minimum, and you know this too from, what you're offering with facial acupuncture and things like that, is you often have to buy the entire line to start, or a section of the line to start. So you can be looking at, $5,000 to $10,000 buy-in for a skincare line. Some of the smaller brands have less, but then after that, they have a lower minimum when you're reordering, and it can all work itself out, especially if you're using the products with clients and selling the products to clients.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's an example of a flop and a win when we did it the second time, right? It's going a lot better.
Well, what I love is it it speaks to you as an employer and your company that this person wanted to come back after all that time. I personally love it when
Yeah.
ex-employees want to come back.
Oh, I love it.
And, I love that the relationship was in such a good place as that could be an option. To me, it's a win-win-win situation. And the fact that you were able to reconsider having that as an offering and making it work now, I think is a huge win.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And now when we approach adding a service, we take about at least 3 months for all the steps. And I'd love to hear your take on this as well, of like your timeline that you kind of hold yourself to and the steps you take. But my biggest encouragement, and we have created a PDF that is step by step of adding a service. And if you want to just send your email address over or email me, I'll send it your way to follow if this is your first time doing this, or fifth time doing it and you want to try it differently. The biggest encouragement I have is step 1 is to pause and really consider why you are wanting to add the service or the modality. What problem is it solving for your clients? Is it in alignment with your brand? Is there a demand for it? And how do you know that?
Yeah.
You just feeling like, well, I want to add this for me, because I want it in my clinic, which I have done, right?
Oh, who hasn't?
Great, but know that that's why you're doing it. It's why we have our dance classes here, so that I can, I love obviously providing dance to the community too, but it's not some huge amount of students in the class. It's like, a few of us that love dancing together, and it's so that I can dance in my studio,
As you should be able to. And you are the business owner, so we have to allow ourselves some latitude on that.
Yes, I agree. But let's say you have an acupuncture clinic.
Yes.
And as one does.
Feeling a bit personal at this point, Kendall.
Let's say you have an acupuncture clinic and you are having a lot of patients who you're referring out for mental health services. And you're thinking, why don't we just do mental health services here?
Never in a month of Sundays.
Okay. It's a hypothetical, Anna. So then you would go through this. You would say, why would I do this? Well, so that we could serve people on site. And, and it can also be profitable. Great. So maybe that's your reason why. We can give people more care that they need. It can be profitable. So then you're thinking, well, let me really do the numbers. Let's see. What would it cost to hire someone? And what would we make? And what would we need to charge? What's the cost?
I'm getting stuck, Kendall. I'm so stuck on this example.
Why? You don't have to do it.
No, because I think we've missed a step. I think we've missed a step adding mental health to acupuncture. And shall I tell you what the step is? And then you can go on. It's the alignment thing, right?
Well, yeah.
It does. I mean, if you're going to have an acupuncture clinic and then you add mental health, you're changing the trajectory of the company. You're not just adding a service for the sake of adding the service.
Which is why you're going through the why of what does it change for the business and team if I make this decision, and do I want to do it? Right?
Yes.
So step 2 is you've decided you want to do it, but you not in real life. But yes, it's first, well, like, why would I do that? Why would I change? I actually would be changing my brand,
Exactly.
So,
there are offerings that you can add that don't change your brand at all.
Exactly. So you've added massage, right? Doesn't need to change your brand. So this is my point, is because we have our listeners want to create multidisciplinary practices, and it's thinking about, well, what do I add first, or what makes sense to go with the brand that I'm building and long-term goals. So let's say hypothetically that you decide, yes, I want to change my brand. I want it to become multidisciplinary, and we're even going to focus on mental health using acupuncture and therapy and massage, right? So you're going to shift that focus of branding and marketing. Don't worry. You don't have to.
It's okay.
I wish everyone had a video. She's getting really concerned. It's just an example. So you've decided like, yes, this is going to be so great for our community and our patients. So then you're going to really get into the numbers. What makes this profitable? Is it feasible to do? And what's the overhead to do it? And what's the projections like the first year that you would, be rolling this out? Let's say you get past those steps and you've decided this is profitable. We have the physical space to do it. Yes, we're going forward. You're going to think about a timeline to launch the service. When do you want this to be available to your current patients? When do you want it to be available to new patients? And then you're going to start working backwards, which that's where all the detailed steps come in. So in this example, if you're an acupuncture clinic and have massage and you want to add mental health counseling, this is very different than you adding even an esthetician to your team.
Yeah.
Or, where mental health counseling, that is a modality where you would need someone to really own that modality and help teach you how that works in clinical practice. And there's a lot of, clinical oversight that needs to happen and liability that comes into place. This is where when clients have a mental health counseling group practice and they have the idea to hire a psychiatric nurse practitioner, this is what happens. They're stuck at this step because psychiatric nurse practitioners are medical professionals. That is a different level of training, oversight, liability than a master's level mental health therapist. Is a very, very different thing to bring into your business. And there's lots of, laws around it. So let's say you get past that. You're going to look for the right clinician. You're going to figure out all the equipment, purchase. One of the biggest things that I see people missing is, let's say they're going to add a nutritionist. Say the mental health practice, they're going to add a nutritionist. Great. Nutritionists just need an office similar to a therapist, and they say they want to offer it this way and we're going to charge this much. So, okay, here we go. We're going to open it up. And then clients start going to see the nutritionist. And then we see things falling through the cracks and we're not really sure what's going on. It's because we didn't practice the service with the new clinician. We didn't practice the brand new modality that we brought in. So what I mean by this is, you always do a practical interview, sitting down, like have the nutritionist give you a treatment plan recommendation, whatever it is, meal planning. But in addition to that you and additional team members are practicing how that session goes with the new modality, new clinician. So you're sitting down with the nutritionist, you're being a mock client. People think of this more in massage or in aesthetics or in, things that are hands-on, even acupuncture, but they don't think of it with these kind of sit-down modalities like this. So it's practicing it. Do you have, are you sitting where the client will sit? What are they looking at on the wall? Is it nice to look at? Does the room feel safe as a client? Do you feel that you're building trust with the nutritionist? Do you feel that they're doing all the steps? So it's so layered to really get to a place of saying, yes, let's open this up to have this new modality represent our brand.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And then we get into marketing the new modality and service. And this is why I think the 3-month timeline minimum is really important, because we want to pause and think about, how do people really want this? How do I know? And who are we going to sell it to? Who's our ideal person to come in? And let's make a strategy. Let's test it out. And being ready to roll it out in advance so that you can have people coming in for the new service. What was your approach to that with adding massage?
Similar, to be honest. Yeah, quite similar. I don't think I realized how little I know about massage until I hired or added it to the practice.
Yeah.
Just, there are so many modalities within massage for starters, and there are so many preferences of individual practitioners, but also learning where they come from as a group of people, learning what the expectations are as an employee, as a massage therapist, what the expectations are around scheduling and time and control over the schedule, and coming into a business where everything with acupuncture, the schedule is controlled. So we don't allow that much autonomy of our practitioners, because otherwise it ends up in utter chaos. Mm-hmm. So really having to dive deep with the practitioners to learn about how they want to be treated and how they expect to be treated, and then what my lines are as an employer around that, and how I want to create the opportunity for a potential employee. But it really has been a very, very steep learning curve.
Absolutely. And I think the point there is, too, that, if we're adding modality we haven't had experience with yet, we have no idea what the other work environments are like that modality typically works in. Mm-hmm. Massage is a good example. Even acupuncture is a good example of acupuncturists coming from community health clinics. It's it's a very different experience working in one of our environments. Mental health, there's a community health option for most modalities, right? So if the person you're looking at hiring is coming from that, it's such a different pace. It's shocking to them, like the pace that's different. And yeah, there's a lot of layers to it, and there's a lot of growth and joy to be had in it, and learning. And it's always comes back to finding the right person, right? Like we hire the person, we don't hire the modality.
Yeah, 100%.
We hope that's helpful to you as our listeners. There are more details on this PDF. If you'd like a copy, feel free to email me at kendall@wellnesscentercreators.com. Anna, great to chat with you, as always.
Lovely. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you for tuning in to the Wellness Center Creators podcast. We hope you found this episode informative and valuable.
If you enjoyed the show, please consider subscribing and leaving a rating and review. Your support helps us reach more health and wellness professionals like you.
For additional resources, show notes, and more episodes, visit our website at wellnesscentercreators.com.
We'd love to connect with you and hear your thoughts, experiences, and questions. Feel free to reach out to us through our website or social media channels.
Once again, thank you for listening. We appreciate your dedication to providing exceptional patient care.
Join us next time as we continue exploring the world of wellness center creation. Until then, take care and keep making a difference.
Thanks for listening to the Wellness Center Creators podcast.